Most advertisers think Performance Max is the magical AI campaign that'll just figure it out. Then a week later, performance tanks, budget spiral, and everyone's blaming the black box. But here's the truth. PMax isn't the problem. It's how you feed it, read it, and react to it. Stick around because later in the video, I'll share the #1 mistake that kills Performance Max campaigns and how to fix it permanently. Hey, I'm Kayla from Profit Pandas, the digital agency that helps e-commerce brands grow with smarter Google ads and meta ads. If you've ever been running a PMax campaign and feel like you've lost control, this video is for you. We're going deep into the real optimization steps that actually move the needle, not just the click here, change that kind of tutorials. But before we jump in, hit that like button if you've ever felt frustrated with Google's black box, and subscribe because we share breakdowns like this every single week. All right, let's get into it. First things first, stop blaming the algorithm. Fix your signals first. A lot of advertisers launch PMax with almost no data. They expect Google's AI to just find the buyers. But if your signals are weak, you've basically handed Google a blank map and said, well, good luck. So here's the reality. Performance Max doesn't discover who your customers are. It amplifies what it already sees. So before optimizing, check these 3 things. 1, your feed. Are your product titles clean, keyword rich, and relevant? If your feed is messy, PMax will waste impressions on irrelevant searches. 2, your audience signals. Don't dump random interests in there. Use your best first-party data, so things like past buyers, abandoned carts, email subscribers, things like that. That really helps give the algorithm a head start. And 3, your exclusions. If you haven't excluded your brand search or low-value pages, PMax will cannibalize your own traffic. Add brand exclusions and block URLs like blog posts or out-of-stock pages. So when you fix your inputs, the machine finally has something worth learning from. Part 2 is to structure your campaigns like a scientist, not a gambler. Most people lump everything they do and everything they have into one giant PMax. They let Google decide what works, and that's exactly why they can't scale, because all of their data gets blurred together. So instead, think of it like a scientist running an experiment. Separate your campaigns by intent and product category. For e-commerce, one for bestsellers, one for new arrivals or testing products, and then one for really high margin products that maybe deserve their own budget. Each campaign should have its own goal, its own budget, and clean data. That way, when something works, you know why. This structure alone can fix half of the "my PMax stopped working" posts you see online. The third part is to optimize your assets like you would for creative testing. And here's where most people mess up. They launch a Performance Max, throw in a few headlines and images, and then forget about it. But PMax is still an ad system. It learns from engagement. If your creatives underperform, the algorithm can't learn fast enough. So go inside your asset groups, click on View Details, and you'll see a column labeled Performance with ratings like best, good, or low. And here's what you want to do. Double down on what's rated best. Make variants of that headline or image, and then replace the low-performing ones. From there, you can test video assets, even like short 10-second clips, because they really do influence YouTube's placement and the display inventory. If you have no video, Google will auto-generate one, but those sometimes are a little rough. They look a little robotic and off-brand, so just double-check those if you're using that option. And really do take the time to upload your own. Even a slideshow style video with a logo, the offer, and a benefit, that can work. So repeat this audit every few weeks, and that's how you gradually steer the machine towards your best converting assets. Part 4 is adjust bidding the smart way, not the panic way. This is often where campaigns crash. People switch from maximize conversions to maximize conversion value, or raise budget too fast. Then performance drops and they assume PMax just stopped working. Here's what really happened. When you make major changes, Google resets the learning process. So instead of flipping everything overnight, do this. Keep the same bid strategy for at least 2 to 3 conversion cycles. If you have enough data, switch to maximize conversion value and then set a realistic ROAS target. And then when scaling, raise budgets slowly, around 10 to 15% every few days. Stick around because in a minute I'll share the #1 mistake that kills PMax campaigns when scaling. All right, part 5. Separate new versus existing customers. So here's a sneaky one. Google loves remarketing because it gets you easy conversions, but it can drain your budget super fast. So Go into your campaign settings and then click on customer acquisition. There you'll see options like bid equally or bid higher for new customers. For e-commerce, choose bid higher for new customers and set a reasonable extra value, maybe 20 to 30%. That tells Google, yes, you still can retarget past buyers, but please prioritize the new customers. This one change can really stretch your budget and stabilize results long term. Part 6, dive into the Insights tab, but know what you want to look for. Google finally is giving us some data, search terms, audience, and top products for PMax. But most advertisers glance at it and just move on. So here's how to use it properly. In search terms, sort by conversion value. Add high-performing phrases to your listing titles or headlines. In audience, look at things like surprising affinities. Maybe outdoor enthusiasts converts better than online shoppers, and add that back into your audience signal. In products and categories, sort by cost and cut the ones that are spending without getting any return. Do this once or twice a month, and this is how you turn the black box performance into measurable results that you can actually control. All right, thanks for sticking around. This is actually the #1 mistake that kills most Performance Max campaigns. It's basically changing too much, too fast. Every time you tweak multiple elements like budget, creatives, and bidding, Google resets its learning model. So if performance dips, it's not that PMax broke, it's that you shock the system. Only change one variable at a time. If you're testing new creatives, don't touch bids that week. If you're raising budgets, don't swap the audience. Slow and methodical beats constant tinkering every time. And here's an optional tip, the white box mindset. Performance Max doesn't have to feel like a black box. When you combine feed audits, signal control, and insight tracking, you can see why it performs a certain way. Think of it like teaching an intern. The clearer your instructions, the better the output. If you're vague, the intern improvises and burns your budget. Now, once you've built a solid foundation, you can scale predictably instead of guessing. So, quick question, have you ever had a PMax campaign suddenly stop performing after a budget increase? Drop your niche or story in the comments. I want to see how widespread this is. All right, and on to the next part, scaling without chaos. Scaling isn't just add more budget. That's how most advertisers crash a really good campaign. When you want to scale is when you can have a stable ROAS for 2 to 3 weeks. From there, you increase it by 10 to 15%, and then if ROAS holds, repeat. If ROAS drops, pause your changes and review signals. You can also clone the campaign, switch the bid strategy on the copy, and let them run side by side for a week. It's much safer than overhauling your main one. And this is how we scale client accounts at Profit Pandas, slowly, predictably, and always data first. So, to recap, optimizing your Performance Max campaign isn't about hacking Google Ads. It's about tightening control where you still can. Clean up your feed and signals. Structure campaigns like experiments. Refresh creative assets regularly. Scale slowly and smartly. And use the Insights tab to guide every move. If you do these 5 things, you'll finally stop feeling like PMax is gambling with your money and start treating it like a system you can manage. If you found this useful, give it a like, share it with someone struggling with their Google Ads, and subscribe for more practical breakdowns. If you want to go deeper into strategy, check out our Smarter Google Ads 2025 series. It's where we cover advanced campaign structures, bid logic, and scaling frameworks in detail. Thanks again for watching. I'm Kayla from Profit Pandas, helping e-commerce brands grow with smarter Google and Meta ads. See you in the next one.